Hey guys, this is Talks here. I have something to share with you, so stick around while we have some fun. So you might have heard of a new buzzword hanging around AI lately called a harness. And essentially, a harness is basically the tools or engine that you use to interact with models. So I've built a harness, air quotes here, of basically different models to benchmark each other against each other using various games or other types of things. Um, so I want to share with you what I built out right now. Originally is just a chess game, AI versus AI chess, but with the power that I have and the ability of running code and all that fun stuff, I've gone ahead and hooked in a whole bunch of different things. And the idea is I want to rank models based off of different criteria, games and whatnot. So I'm going to share with you what I got here right now. I love playing in local LM Studio so that I can benchmark models for local LLMs. Today I have Quincoder loaded at the moment, and I'd like to run it through a couple of these just to give you an idea. So we have a chess match game here. And the idea is it should tell us what the model is thinking, how it moves, all that fun stuff until one of the sides wins. Ultimately, we're going to have a ranking system that will let me see which model comes out top, and we'll use the ELO criteria, basically how good you are at chess kind of thing. Anthropic has also adopted the ELO model, so we're going to go with that. Some other things we can play with is I've built in a checkers game, so we can watch it play checkers against itself. I know the graphics are very rudimentary. This is really beta version of me putting the app together. Ultimately, though, I do want to have background tasks kicking off too, so I can get a holistic idea of how a local LLM or even a frontier model might perform against each other. Part of this is I've also built in the ability to choose human. So if you wanted to test your skills against one of the models, any of the models, you are now free to do that. But right now we're just going to continue our testing. I got WarGames here, the 1983 classic idea of what WarGames is. Um, yeah, pretty cool. This will let us have some fun. And the idea is just we're putting AI against AI to see how they logically think things out, all that fun stuff. Another game, of course, you got to have tic-tac-toe. um, and we're going to put my skills against one of these models, and we'll see which one can beat me and which one can't beat me. So we'll go up the mode a little bit here and see what we get. Um, So let's try connect 4, make sure that works okay. It looks like it's so far so good. And so additionally, I'm going to make this open source and public for anyone to download free of charge. I'm a huge open source advocate. So this will be hosted on github.com/apatox slash Turing-Gambit. Alan Turing was, as everyone knows, very famous in the very instrumental in computer sciences and advancing the world of technology. So I've adopted the name for this. I just want to make sure this model knows how to move. You'll notice not only in addition to seeing what the models are thinking, we get an average latency, how long it takes for each move to execute. If it makes invalid moves, and in some cases, accurate token tracking, or in other cases, guesstimated token tracking, depending on what the API is able to return or not. So that's looking good. Let's check the next game. I did code dots and boxes, a childhood favorite. Basically, you create boxes and you fill it in with your little credentials, and whoever has the most wins at the end of the game. So did white just move 4 times there? I'm not sure. I don't know if that's legal. Oh yeah, and we do have a move log, so we can review it later and make sure we get the logic right so that it's a fair game. Now, the way they play could also be the models themselves, but it is moving along, so we'll see what it's doing here. Look, so it found some are not valid. That's fine. So it's thinking it through. That should be what the model's doing. I'd prefer it to think a little bit faster. Normally, local models are pretty fast. I did turn off KV cache, though. I thought it was giving me some issue, but it wasn't, so I probably will turn that back on. So this one I'll have to improve for local models. Let's give that a try again, but this time we'll send it to a Copilot model. And we'll also do it here. Let's have it play Claude Sonnet 4.6 versus, let's try DeepSeek V4 Flash. Let's see how that works with boxes. I suspect DeepSeek version 4 Flash is kind of fast. Sonnet is one of my go-to models. Did I choose 4.5? Oops, all good. Yeah, so frontier models are obviously going to respond a little bit more intelligently at this point in time. The local model I have right now is quincoder 30 billion parameter, fits on a 16 gig graphics card. It's a pretty strong model, but it's nowhere near as strong as the frontier models if you're used to that. All right, this looks like it's working. Let's go ahead and check another game. Y'all are watching me as I get the full testing out. I've been doing them individually. We're going to go back to local LM and we'll see how that works. Yeah, the Battleship one's interesting. It's supposed to help me figure out their reasoning. Okay, so thinks it hit a ship and sunk it maybe, but I don't know if that's true. I can hear my GPU spinning up. All right, this one looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and go test the next one, which is Prisoner's Dilemma. This one is a interesting one. Essentially, you have to get the most points by the end of the game by either cooperating with each other or defecting with each other. And depending on what you choose, you get additional points or, some sort of weird logic that just basically sees how trusting a model is, that kind of thing. Looks like it's working. It's a 10-round game. We'll take a deeper look at that later. Now, here's one of my favorite ones, the debate. You can give it an optional topic and have it debate itself, which I absolutely love. So apples taste better than oranges. That's a pretty simple one. But let's say bugs taste better than oranges, because in my testing so far, like the first one, if I give it a weird, whatever, it's always going to agree with like the first responder. So let's see what it does with this one. Bugs taste better than oranges. Local LM versus local LM, which is again quincoder. Um, Actually, let's give this debate a fair chance to say that oranges taste better than bugs. And we'll start off with, we'll give it to haiku. Um, Yeah, we'll give it to haiku. I rarely use that one. Here, we're going to see them debate. And then at the end, we'll have an AI judge the debate. So, uh, pro. Bugs have been consumed by humans for millennia and offer superior national density compared to oranges. While oranges provide vitamin C, bugs deliver complete proteins, essential amino acids, and crucial minerals like iron, zinc that our bodies actually need. The taste of properly prepared insects like crickets or grasshoppers is rich and savory with unmaming flavors and that are far more complex than tart sweetness of citrus fruit. Most importantly, bugs represent a substantial food source that could feed billions, while oranges remain a luxury item in many parts of the world. Wow, this is already um, pro. I gave to the local LM, so that's a compelling round one argument. Now, again, this is 10 rounds. I'm allowing them to debate each other, so I don't want to read it all. But that's a very compelling start off argument. Let's see what its rebuttal was for round one. Um, Taste is fundamentally subjective, yet oranges enjoy near universal culinary appreciation across cultures for their balance of natural sweetness and refreshing acidity. Qual- Qualities that require zero psychological reconditioning to enjoy. Unlike insects that most people instinctively find repulsive. Ooh, that's a great start already. While bugs may offer nutritional advantages, taste better refers to the sensory pleasure, not caloric density. If tastes were merely about umami, I don't know that word, and efficiency, we'd all prefer nutritional paste to any food, yet we don't, because enjoyment matters. Oranges deliver immediate, accessible flavor that children and adults alike crave naturally, whereas bugs demand cultural indoctrination and require taste training to overcome deep-seated revolution, making them objectively worse tasting for the vast majority of human palates. Sorry. The substantially argument is separate conversational entirety. Nutrition and substantially don't determine superior taste. Only our sensory experience does. Haiku coming out with a strong, strong one there. All right, so we should be around round 10 by now. All right, we should be getting there. It's going to give us a winner. Either bugs taste better, Sonnet, um, or I'm sorry, what am I using? Quinn Coder for the localhost. According to this one, though, Claude Haiku 4.5 win. That's what we were hoping, right? It's one of the cloud models. That one does cost money for token spin, even though it's one of the cheaper ones. Con wins. The pro consistently fails to rebut the con's core logical contradiction that bugs require conditioning to overcome instinctive rejection, which directly undermines their claim that bugs taste better as is. The con decisively demonstrates that taste superiority requires natural preferences, not learned acceptance. Verdict is to the con. That was an awesome. So I love the debate feature of this game, putting it to each other. I'm probably going to be using that quite often. The last one I got in there right now is Risk. This is the game of Risk. You just basically put two models against each other to conquer the world. I remember playing this game as a kid. I'm probably going to improve the graphics and all that fun stuff, but right now the idea is get the core framework in place. Now, it looks like I got a couple great games there to play with. So the next goal for this, aside from having the ability to use load music folder, which is MP3s, that's working. I also got a settings here for a couple, simple stuff, putting your OpenAI key or Anthropic key, or if you have a generic key, that is for other models that you can choose. You got OpenAI API route, you got the Anthropic Claude API route, you got Ollama, of course we got local studio, anything OpenAI compatible. For example, you might write your own stuff. I do some of that. And then if you're a GitHub Copilot user, which I highly recommend exploring, does require Copilot subscription, but if you compare, they're actually cheaper from them all around, and you get access to a lot of really good high quality ones here. I don't see 4.8 list. Oh, here it is. I also have access to 4.8, which is one of the top ones at the time. But again, LM Studio, you just have to go in your backend. You can choose whichever model if you want it. I know it says local model here. It's whatever's defined in LM Studio, so I can load it on demand. Anyway, this is Appa with Appa Talks. Thank you for watching and support Ukraine.